Hi everyone, welcome to another video. Fred Guy here, and today we're touching on another fragrance from my favourite house, and that being a Guerlain. And this one is a discontinued fragrance, and this one is Guerlain Homme. And this is the EDT, so the original. So before we carry on, I'm going to give you a close up at the bottle. Okay, gonna have a quick look at the bottle. So you got Guerlain Homme right there. A little bit of juice left. The caps aren't great, you know, you roll around a bit and sometimes you pull them off, it'll take that off, but if you're careful it doesn't do so. It's a bit weighty, but it is plasticky. You've got a sprayer there, you've got somewhere for your finger or your thumb. Nice bottle, not too bad. It's got a bit of a lump on the front there. You can't quite see it. Excuse me. A bit of information on the bottom, and that's about it. The cap has got the Guerlain logo on the top. So that's it. You know, nice little bottle. Nothing overly fancy or complicated. Shame about the bit of a plasticky cap, but it is what it is. So that's a quick look at the bottle. Okay, so now you've had a close-up at the bottle, got a few notes here. Guerlain Homme EDT was introduced in 2008 and classed as a woody aromatic. Aromatic, yes, I don't know about the woody bit, although there is some woods in it, but and there's no real top, middle or base notes, it's just a line of notes, about 10 or so. Notes are mojito. Well, the overall vibe is mojito. It's not necessarily a note. The whole thing together smells like a mojito. That's what I was going for. Lime, mint, vetiver, bergamot, rum, cedar and geranium are the notes in this fragrance. So like it suggests, the one note is that it smells like a mojito, and it actually does. You're greeted with a nice sort of, there's no real sweetness in here. A real mojito isn't sweet. You get like an alcohol rum accord, and the rum's usually sweet, but not this. A real mojito comes off, I wouldn't say bitter, slightly bitter in the drink, and this certainly is on that line. It's not bitter here, but it certainly isn't sweet. And at the start you get a nice blast of like a lime and mint, a boozy lime mint is what you get pretty much throughout its life anyway. And as it starts to dry down, more of some woods start coming through. So having a look at the notes, so the lime and mint and bergamot on the top. Bergamot is nice, it's like sparkly bergamot, very good quality. You get an overwash definitely of a lime and the mint there. I would say when you first spray it, probably the lime is the most dominant. That soon goes away, a couple of minutes, leaving you with sparkling bergamot and a mint. The mint itself lasts reasonable length of time, certainly a few hours throughout the fragrance, which is unusual. The bergamot's a bit like the lime, disappears reasonably quickly as bergamot does, but very nice all the same. So as it dries down, you start losing those notes. It still smells like mojito, so the mint sort of pops in and out throughout its dry down, but more of like a fresh vetiver comes up, the fresh vetiver comes up, and cedar. It's still sort of on the boozy side throughout its life, so you get a boozy, slightly minty, woody fragrance once that the citruses and that go away. It's a real nice fragrance, this. Very, very underrated. Unfortunately discontinued, you can't get it anymore, and it's a shame because it's really nice. I've got many compliments, should we say, when wearing this one. This is my second and only bottle that I have now of the fragrance. I haven't got that much left. Last person to give me a compliment on this was another man, and I'd had this on for 4 or 5 hours, and he was talking to me, got close because he was at work, and he says, "Oh, you smell really good." You wonder what it was. So the performance isn't as bad as you think. When you put it on after a couple of hours, you tend not to be able to smell it. Certainly on me, I can't smell it after a couple of hours, and I go nose blind to this. But it obviously does project and last a good length of time. As I say, it was about 5 hours in, and we wasn't super close, you know, a couple of feet away from each other, and he smelt it. And I wasn't walking past him; we were standing next to each other. So he's got some decent performance for a light, refreshing type of scent. Definitely has some decent performance. Now this could be a unisex scent. It is marketed towards men. It does lean more towards the masculine due to as it dries down, you know, the woods and that start coming through and the vetiver starts coming up. So it is more of a masculine scent, but you know, a good confident woman could easily wear this one. Age range, well, I think anybody could really wear this. I wouldn't say anybody sort of under 21 because you smell like booze, and anybody under 21 really shouldn't be walking around smelling like booze. Anybody a bit older, you know, you can get away with it, but you know, anybody could really wear this. It's just a nice, very refreshing scent that dries down a little woody and boozy. So I would say anybody could really wear this, and any man or female, and of any age. Seasons, well, like I do, I'll wear what I want when I want, so I'll wear this in the winter if I want to. It's not really for the winter. This is more, I would say, a spring fragrance into summer. I wore this many summer nights when I've gone out, had compliments and people loving the fragrance. So for me, as a recommendation, if you do find some and pick some up, best time to wear this is spring coming into summer, sort of in between. It's starting to get warm but it's not hot. Perfect sort of in that area. And occasions, well, this could be a signature scent. Unfortunately, there isn't enough juice around left in the world for it to be a signature scent for the rest of your life, but it would make a really good signature scent for somebody. I was planning on that when it first came out because I loved it that much, and then they discontinued it and it was harder to find, so I had to look elsewhere. And for me, my go-to for the line now is the Eau de Parfum, because it's still being produced and it's still, you can still pick it up still cheap, as this stuff is a bit harder to find and it's going up in price because of that. But like I said, signature scent, you could wear it for anything really. It's got a slightly more dressed up feel to it. I would say if you're smart casual or above, so you're going smart casual or smart dress, then definitely. I've worn this to a wedding once, and thankfully not my own, because I'm never getting married. I've worn this to somebody else's wedding before, and after the wedding the bride come and give me a hug and said, "Oh, you smell good." You know, there's a few people actually said it on the day, but not just the bride. Luckily they're really all good close friends, but know that I'm into cologne. But yeah, I've worn this when I'm really suited up, and I've worn it sort of semi-casual as well, and it all goes down really well. So you could wear it at any time, but I would say when you've got to say your best jeans and t-shirt on, or there above, would suit it better. Not really, you could, but it doesn't really come across as sort of a very casual, like you're just dossing around in your tracksuit bottoms and your t-shirt like I am today. Doesn't necessarily fit that, but you know, some days you just gotta wear what you love. So okay, so on that, I would say this is a great sort of 9 out of 10. If the performance was a little bit better, it would be a 10 out of 10, but I'm being picky. You know, this is a beautiful scent, very underrated, and almost like a hidden gem. This was popular when it came out, you know, on YouTube. Everybody was sort of loving it, thinking it was great. everybody was still saying the same thing, though if it lasted a little bit longer, projected a little bit more, it would be even more praised and loved. And sadly, for some reason it just wasn't. It wasn't loved that much. You know, people who was into perfume and us fragrance lovers really do enjoy this, but the massive people, for some reason, just didn't gravitate to it so much. But then Guerlain don't really advertise like their fragrances, certainly never used to the masses. You know, people who know Guerlain go to Guerlain. They've never been one till recently to put big adverts everywhere and celebrities and all that kind of stuff like Dior and Chanel and that do. But, well, they do now, but they never used to. So I think that's one factor of Guerlain that sort of hurt them a little bit. But then on the other side, people who love Guerlain go to Guerlain. So, you know, you got your, what do you call it? You got your sort of your clientele. You don't need to advertise, if you know what I mean. And that's the one thing about Guerlain that I like, or at least used to like. They do push fragrances a bit more now, as they've been taken over by you know, like a proper company, if you will, like a bigger, more mass market sort of company. So they're advertising a lot more than they used to. But I liked them when they didn't do that so much. So yeah, overall, yeah, good 9 out of 10. Lasted a bit longer, 10 out of 10. Really do enjoy this one. I wear it sparingly because it's all I've got left, and I don't feel like rebuying anymore. But so let me know in the comments below if you've tried this. Do you like it? Do you not like it? If you have or haven't tried it, would you like to try it if you haven't? Leave a comment below. I'll answer it if I can. Thank you for watching. Really do appreciate it as always. Give me a thumbs up if you like the video, and subscribe if you haven't already. And hopefully I'll see you again soon on the next fragrance review.